What up, you nerds? Fallout here, and today I'm going over my own personal list of the top PvE weapons you absolutely need to have in your inventory before Beyond Light drops. Some of these weapons are exotic, and some are legendary. You should know that there's two criteria I'm putting on each weapon in today's video. Number one, the weapon has to absolutely slap in PvE. We're talking high tier stuff. If your goal is to go into the new Beyond Light campaign content, or be uber prepared for attempting the brand new Deepstone Crypt raid on day one, you'll be in great shape if you have these guns in your inventory already. Criteria number two, these weapons are easily obtained. Rest assured, I wanted to put a lot of guns on this list that are good for PvE, but left them off the list because they're not easily farmable or easily obtainable. It's not gonna do you any good to list a weapon that you can only get via a random world drop. First of all, you gotta cross your fingers and hope to get the gun to drop at all in a huge ass loot pool. Then maybe if you get the gun at all, it has trash perks? It's just a waste of everybody's time. So really what the list actually is are the best and easily obtainable PvE weapons to have in preparation for Beyond Light. But before we get going, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Ridge Wallets. These things are beautiful, and I'm glad to promote them on my channel because I've actually been using one myself for about the past year. No joke, this right here has been my actual wallet. A lot of guys I know are still lugging around wallets like this. Big, bulky, floppy, and uncomfortable, doesn't sit well in your pocket, and you gotta move it around when you sit down. As I mentioned, over a year of the Ridge wallet, and I'm just never going back. It's light, sleek, and efficient. It doesn't fold or bulge out awkwardly in your pocket. It's got room for all my cards and a clip for bills when I am carrying cash. They've got over 30 colors and styles on their website, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. Sounds like a Destiny shader. They've got 30,000 5-star reviews, one of them being mine, and each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. Yes, you can buy just one wallet and boom, carry and use it for life. The Ridge is so confident you'll like it that they'll let you test drive it for 45 days, and if you don't, you can send it back for a full refund. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/falloutplays and use promo code falloutplays. Link to their site in the video description, and thank you again to Ridge for sponsoring today's video. Alright, back to the content. If there's any weapons you feel are must-haves for PvE that are different than mine, feel free to let me know what they are down in the comment section. Okay, here we go. In the exotic department, kicking off the list with the Divinity Trace Rifle. Obtained via a hidden challenge within the Garden of Salvation raid, the Divinity is an absolutely insane weapon for big boss DPS. If you're going into Deepstone Crypt day 1 or even week 1, you can rest assured that the Divinity is going to be a huge help in crushing large health bar enemies. Not only does it turn any enemy into a big glowing target that just screams out "hit me," every shot on its beautiful little blue bubble turns into an auto crit. It's really no surprise that Divinity is on the list. I know it's a pain for some people to get because you kinda need a raid team to do it, but just figure out a way to do it. Your future raid team will thank you later. I should mention now that I'm not gonna include a full guide on how to get all of these guns because then the video would be 30 minutes long and ain't nobody got time for that. Next up, the ANARCHY Grenade Launcher. Ever since being released into the game, the ANARCHY has been a staple in PvE content for D2. Solo players love the ANARCHY for its ability to do awesome damage on its own while you switch to any other gun you like and continue pumping the boss full of bullets. If you don't have the ANARCHY, good news times 2. Number 1, I have a guide on how to get the gun, easy peasy, link for that down in the video description. And number 2, you can still farm for the ANARCHY an unlimited amount of times each week until Beyond Light. There is literally no better time than right now to go and farm for one of the best PvE guns in the game. Bonus for both the Divinity and the ANARCHY, not only are they both guns totally cracked for PvE, but neither of them have annoying catalysts that you need to unlock. They're both good to go right out of the package. Next up, the XENOPHAGE. Ever since the nerfing of IZANAGI'S Burden, which was top tier for all forms of PvE damage, many players immediately turned to the XENOPHAGE heavy machine gun. It's really unique. Whereas all other machine guns drown enemies in a hail of gunfire, the XENOPHAGE fires one thick with 3 Cs, explosive round that deals big damage. XENOPHAGE might actually be one of the most straightforward weapons on the list. No weird timing or counting prongs like the ANARCHY, no loading special bullets like the IZANAGI, just straight up raw damage. And unless someone is highlighting the enemy with a divinity, you can't get crits with the damn thing, so just fire away. Start working now on the quest that kicks off on the moon. If you don't have the XENOPHAGE, it'll definitely be a must-have weapon in Beyond Light PvE. Next exotic, the IZANAGI'S Burden. Alright, look, I know I just said that the IZANAGI got nerfed back in year 3. It took a fair hit, but even with the nerf, the IZANAGI remains a tried and true damage dealer in the PvE sandbox. Granted, those who have the gun might tell you that the quest to unlocking it can be fairly annoying. That being said, it's still a very good weapon to have and is an undeniable champion killer in endgame PvE activity. The gun also has an exotic catalyst that you can unlock between now and the launch of Beyond Light. If the weapon ain't in your inventory, get some buddies together and go grab it now while you can. With that, we move on to the WITHERHOARD grenade launcher. WITHERHOARD is extremely unique and a baller in the crowd control department. Just one WITHERHOARD shot can help put tons of mindless Taken or any other low-level PvE trash at bay. Better yet, unlocking the catalyst really takes WITHERHOARD to a new level of awesome, essentially giving you auto-loading holster for free. Take out your WITHERHOARD, fire a shot either on the ground or infect an enemy directly, switch to your backup weapon, continue wreaking havoc, count a few seconds, and your WITHERHOARD is now fully reloaded and ready to fire again. For any encounter in a raid where your only goal is to hold off a lot of trash, kinda like the Vault encounter in Last Wish, WITHERHOARD is a god among mere mortal kinetic weapons. Best of all, WITHERHOARD is dummy easy to acquire. All you gotta do is hit 35 on your season rank. If you paid for the season pass, you probably have the gun already. Really what you should be focusing on with the WITHERHOARD is the completion of the exotic catalyst, which again skyrockets the weapon's performance from great to really good. Do it before Beyond Light and you'll be sitting pretty. Next weapon, we got the RISKRUNNER SMG. D2 veterans probably have the gun already, but good news if you don't. If you're a new Light player, then this gun is now available for you to acquire via a direct exotic quest. Even better, the exotic catalyst is too. Right up there with WITHERHOARD, the RISKRUNNER is a massive slayer in the crowd control department. After getting touched by just a single shred of arc damage, you can go full-on static shock and effortlessly clear the entire room with a Storm X-Men level of chain lightning. Here's something that'll probably come in handy too. In Beyond Light, we're gonna be fighting Fallen. Now yeah, some of the new Fallen are gonna be using stasis to kill us. However, historically, Fallen are big fans of arc damage, meaning that it's pretty likely your RISKRUNNER is gonna get free charge-ups left and right in Beyond Light PvE. In short, RISKRUNNER has always been baller, but in Beyond Light, it's probably gonna shine brighter than ever. Grab both it and the catalyst if you have not already. 2 exotics left to go before the legendaries, and next we got Whisper of the Worm. Whisper really feels like, to me, the tried and true, reliable DPS sniper rifle of D2. Available via one of my favorite PvE activities, the Whisper of the Worm mission, the exotic sniper rifle is nothing short of just a very effective power weapon. Ever since Bungo nerfed our ability to auto-reload weapons via Lunafaction boots and the Titan Rally Barricade, Whisper has re-emerged as a solid DPS dealer for certain activities. It's extremely likely that the Whisper will remain relevant and a very viable PvE damage dealer going into year 4. Bad news though, if you haven't started working on the weapon's exotic catalyst by the time you're watching today's video, then unfortunately you're not going to have the exotic catalyst ready for Beyond Light. It's possible that Bungie may give us a new method of acquiring the catalyst at some point in the future, but for now, if you don't have the catalyst already, then yeah, you're kinda boned. The gun on its own is still good though, so pick it up if you don't have it already. Final exotic weapon to talk about today is the OUTBREAK Perfected Pulse Rifle. Maybe not as immediately destructive as other weapons on this list, the OUTBREAK Perfected is still nothing to scoff at, and hella deadly when used together in a full fire team. team. If you're in a raid with a team of folks who may not have other weapons on this list, then there ain't nothing wrong with everyone slapping on the Outbreak and dealing big group nanite damage to a thick, chunky raid boss. Much like the Whisper, the Outbreak is fairly easy to get, and the mission you have to do to get it is actually pretty fun. Unfortunately, also like the Whisper, the Outbreak Perfected has an exotic catalyst that, again, if you haven't started on by the time you're watching today's video, you won't have it for Beyond Light. Again, even if you don't have the catalyst for Beyond Light, the gun on its own is still very effective. Make sure you and everyone on your week 1 raid team has the weapon in their vault just in case. Now we move on to legendary weapons. Even though exotics are very obviously great in PvE, there's plenty of legendary weapons that are just as good, if not better, in the PvE sandbox. Every legendary weapon I'm about to mention is A, killer in PvE, and B, not about to get sunset, i.e. there would be no point in using it in Season 12, and most importantly, C, easy to farm for or acquire. In fact, every legendary weapon here is going to be obtainable via Drifter's prismatic recasting machine at the tower. So if you're sitting on a buttload of Umbral engrams, and honestly who isn't at this point, head over to the tower and try to get a god roll on each of the following weapons before Season 11 is over. First legendary weapon up, the Falling Guillotine Sword. Yeah, I know, before you even open your mouth, I know that Bungie just mentioned in their recent TWAB that the guillotine is getting nerfed in Beyond Light. At the time of writing today's video, the guillotine can single-handedly make a mockery out of almost every raid or dungeon boss. By just light swiping repeatedly, followed by the occasional spin to win, even the thickest of bosses can get punked by the guillotine. However, despite the upcoming nerf to the guillotine, Bungie mentions directly in their sandbox TWAB that the guillotine will continue to be slightly above average. And considering swords are still solid DPS options for the right bosses, I feel like that still puts guillotine in a really good spot for PvE. Not as good as it is now, but still better than all other swords in the damage department. Pair that with the fact that it's easy to get, you really have no excuse if you don't have one in your inventory going into Beyond Light. Grab one now, aim for the combo of Relentless Strikes and Whirlwind Blade, the current unbeatable damage dealing combo. Next weapon, we got the Ikelos SMG, a very obvious choice if you want to run any loadout that centers around Warmind cells. The Ikelos SMG continues to be an awesome primary weapon in PvE. Not only is the design great, which matters to me, but it has perk options like Seraph Rounds, Vorpal Weapon, Demolitionist, Disruption Break, and Surrounded. Again, if you haven't dabbled in Warmind cell armor mods, you really are missing out. They offer some of the most powerful combinations in all of the sandbox right now, and the Ikelos SMG is the match with which you will use to ignite your Warmind bonfire. Pick one up now from the Prismatic Recaster, and odds are your roll will be pretty good. Next up is the Gnawing Hunger, and yeah, you probably saw that one coming. Not only is the Gnawing Hunger an absolute monster in PvP, it's pretty damn good in PvE too. Auto rifles have damn strong range, reliable power, and the Gnawing Hunger especially comes with a really good perk pool. Demolitionist, Rampage, Multi-Kill Clip, Kill Clip, and Swashbuckler all drop in column 4, meaning no matter what kind of Gnawing Hunger you get from your Umbral engram, odds are it's gonna be good. A guaranteed trash shredder with every engram. Again, nice little side bonus if you get a good Gnawing Hunger for PvE, odds are it's gonna slap in PvP too. Next weapon on the list is the first in, last out shotgun. Fairly recently, Bungo decided to give slug shotties a buff because nobody was really using them. After getting a 30% damage buff in PvE, they've become a good weapon option. Not only do they do really good damage, but they come with really good roll options. Again, available for anyone at the Prismatic Recaster machine, the first in, last out can drop with Vorpal Weapon, Demolitionist, Surrounded, Opening Shot, and Eye of the Storm. If you want my opinion, you should probably go for Assault Mag, Auto-Loading Holster, and Vorpal Weapon. That guarantees the highest rate of fire, paired together with the highest damage output against bosses, and the ability to reload when put away. There's really no reason to not grab that gun while it's so easily obtainable. Go get that god roll that you deserve. Last weapon before we get to our list of honorable mentions is the Ikelos Sniper Rifle. I really wanted to include a legendary sniper on the list because they're currently pretty good at dealing damage to big bosses from a safe range. If you wanted to run an exotic in your power weapon slot, like the crazy powerful Anarchy, probably wouldn't hurt to have a rock-solid legendary weapon DPS option at range. Enter the Icola's sniper rifle. For any of you already bashing your head on the keyboard about the Long Shadow, please remember that all weapons we're going over today are easily obtainable, and the Long Shadow ain't as easy to obtain as the Icola's sniper. The perks you're looking for on your Icola's sniper are either 4th times the charm or triple tap. Both options are going to help you in the never-ending battle against pausing to reload your weapon during a damage phase. Likewise, you're going to want a perk in the second column that beeps up your magazine. Again, more ammo in the mag and returning ammo to that mag are top tier options for PvE. For your final perk, either box breathing or high impact reserves are both fine for the extra smidge of damage you'll get. Yeah, the box breathing damage goes away after 1 bullet, lame, but a little extra damage is better than no extra damage at all. Now, because this is a YouTube video, I know there's gonna be a lot of you out there probably disagreeing with a few of the weapons I recommended. Wow, I can't believe he recommended and he didn't even mention them. There's a lot of weapons that many people like in PvE, and including too many would make the video like an hour long. I have a quick few honorable mentions to throw in at the last minute. Get them if you feel like rounding out your PvE weapon selection, but no pressure if you don't want to. In no order at all, the Python if you want a spread shotgun instead of a slug. The Long Shadow, mentioned earlier, which is great, but good luck getting one to drop in the wild. I mean, yeah, you can get one from Zavala, but I would rather save my PvE Vanguard tokens for power level grinding than pulling a slot machine lever for a good sniper. Also, we got the Behringer's Memory grenade launcher. Yeah, it's not the hands down best nade launcher out there, but it's not friggin' bad for reliable damage output in PvE. It's a 150 RPM launcher that can roll with clown cartridge and spike nades and auto-loading holster. If you're a new light player and you really don't have any PvE-focused nade launcher, go grab a Behringer's at the tower. Final honorary mention goes to literally any Icola's weapon that you want to pick up, because honestly, they're all pretty good and they work great with a Warmind cell loadout. And that's pretty much it. There's a lot of good weapon options out there for PvE, but the ones I've gone over are both reliable as hell and straightforward to acquire. Yeah, some of the exotic weapons might take a bit of work to get, depending on how long the quest is, but they're all worth it, and the legendary weapons take literally no effort to get right now. So good luck, stock up, go get some god rolls, and be uber prepared for all Beyond Light PvE content, including the brand new raid. If you enjoyed today's video, maybe share it with a Fireteam member and click the old like button. It's free to do and helps out the channel more than you could know. While you're at it, don't forget to click the subscribe button and help me with my oh so humble goal of one day taking over the world. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.